This also presupposes that for the disciples the resurrection was just as real as the cross. It presupposes that they were simply overwhelmed by the reality, that after their initial hesitation and astonishment, they could no longer ignore that reality. It is true, He is alive. He has spoken to us. He has allowed us to touch Him, even if He no longer belongs to the realm of the tangible in the normal way. The paradox was indescribable. He was quite different, no mere resuscitated corpse, but one living anew and forever in the power of God. And yet, at the same time, while no longer belonging to our world, he was truly present there. He himself. It was an utterly unique experience which burst open the normal boundaries of experience, and yet for the disciples was quite beyond doubt. This explains the unique character of the resurrection accounts. They speak of something paradoxical, of something that surpasses all experience and yet is utterly real and present. But could it really be true? Can we as men of the modern world put our faith in such testimony? Enlightened, so-called, enlightened thinking would say no. For Gerd Ludemann, for example, it seems clear that in consequence of the revolution in the scientific image of the world, the traditional concepts of Jesus' resurrection are to be considered outdated. But what exactly is this scientific image of the world? How far can it be considered normative? Hartmut Gese, in his important article Die Frage des Weltbildes, to which I should like to draw attention, has painstakingly described the limits of this normativity. Naturally, there can be no contradiction of clear scientific data. The resurrection accounts certainly speak of something outside our world experience. They speak of something new, something unprecedented, a new dimension of reality that is revealed. What already exists is no longer into question. Rather, we are told that there is a further dimension beyond what was previously known. Does that contradict science? Can there really only ever be what there has always been? Can there not be something unexpected, something unimaginable, something new? If there really is a God, is he not able to create a new dimension of human existence, a new dimension of reality altogether? Is not creation actually waiting for this last and highest evolutionary leap, for the union of the finite with the infinite, for the union of man and God, for the conquest of death? Throughout the history of the living, the origins of anything new have always been small, practically invisible, and easily overlooked. The Lord himself has told us that heaven in this world is like a mustard seed, the smallest of all the seeds. Matthew 13:31-32. Yet contained within it are the infinite potentialities of God. In terms of world history, Jesus' resurrection is improbable. It is the smallest mustard seed of history. This reversal of proportions is one of God's mysteries. The great, the mighty, is ultimately the small. And the tiny mustard seed is something truly great. So it is that the resurrection has entered the world only through certain mysterious appearances to the chosen few. And yet, it was truly the new beginning for which the world was silently waiting, and for the few witnesses, precisely because they themselves could not fathom it, it was such as overwhelmingly real happening, confronting them so powerfully that every doubt was dispelled, and they stepped forth before the world with an utterly new fearlessness in order to bear witness. Christ is truly risen. Alleluia.